Mr. O here, and welcome to another odds and ends video. I'm just going to start off right off the bat by saying excuse this band-aid that's on my face. I totally shaved before I wanted to record myself this evening, and as you can see from this tissue and among others that I already threw away, yeah, I'm just bleeding, and I have to record this video because, well, it's getting late, and I want to record it now. So there you go. Alright, so just excuse that, and we're going to jump into showing some tips with the flute today. Okay, we got the flute here, and we will also do another segment with the clarinet. The brass segment will be with the trumpet, and another brass segment will be with the trombone. So at this moment, I'm going to go and you're going to see the time of where you can jump to if you are a clarinet player or a trumpet player or a trombone player. But in a moment, right after I show this slide here, we'll jump into the flute. All right. Hey folks, so this evening with the flute, our flute friends here, you should be watching this segment of the video. And our first little quick odds and ends extra tip is if you take a look at this flute, as you can see on the top, it kind of looks normal with the color of the silver. But as you come down here, it's starting to get tarnished because I left it on the stand, and sometimes my music room gets hot and the window shade might have been up and then the sun was hitting it. So over time, the air chemicals lands on the flute, the dust can just settle on the flute, and it needs to be serviced. So that's totally something that happens, and just to give a heads up for that. It shouldn't be too expensive overall because it is just a service clean, but just to give you that heads up that use the cloth that comes in your case, wipe it down because your fingers have different oils and things like that, and if you just play and then just put it in the case after, this can happen. All right, so just avoid that from living experience. Okay, number 2, and the big one, long portion of this demonstration, is to play properly between the lower range of the flute and into the middle range of the flute. Right now, lots of flute players who are beginners are playing their B-flat concert scale, and then what happens is this. So you're going up the scale like going up on a piano, and then suddenly it drops down low for various reasons. And that's what we're going to cover right now. So when you are playing in the low range, and that means your first note B flat and C, and then and then going down from there. So C, and we'll stop at low F. So that's where we're going to start, all right? So basically, when you're playing your low range, you want to picture a spot that is right below you, okay? Down below you, and your airstream should be aiming towards the floor in front of you. Your mouth should be generally relaxed. You should not be too taut and stretched You do want to be stretched against the lip, and then your top lip does come over so the air can direct down over the lip plate. Not inside, so you're still going over the lip plate, but generally going down and relaxed. The airstream is going to be steady, but not as fast, or not as strong rather, because air speed links towards dynamics of being loud and soft generally, but we want to be relaxed, slower, a little bit slower or softer air. You can think that. But still steady speed. So that is how you get a low sound on the flute. The angle should be directed towards the ground, and the bottom lip can be stretched against the teeth, like I said, with a nice smooth edge so you can blow over. But then you can also think of the all sound as you play, as you're creating that nice ringing resonance. But overall, just be relaxed, feel relaxed and not pinched. Now, that's how you play the lower range. For the higher range, what we want to do is the angle should be directed upwards, a little bit more upwards, and you want to think about a spot that is a little bit more in front of you, not super far in front, but more in front of you than directly below you or close to, where your feet are centered. Okay, so think about a spot that's in front of you on the ground, and now you are going to be a little bit more stretched back. Center is blowing that air with a steady stream of air support, steady stream of air, and you should get some of those higher notes in the mid-range. So I'm picturing a spot right there at the table, and now I'm thinking down towards the floor there, maybe about 35-degree angle, 45, about 40 degrees there. So you got to feel that change, got to feel where the notes are, where the range wants to go, okay? And practice holding out the notes. And we're about to do an exercise now with going from the high notes, dropping down low. So it's better to start more firm, in my opinion, and then get loose rather than start loose, which might be easier. Start loose and then get tight, because what a lot of students do, they just overly get tight. So get that note on the middle range, nice and solid, and then relax and drop down low. You can tongue both notes, and that's the music that you're going to see. So we're going to start with the F, which was what we just played. I slowly slurred into the note too. You can try that as well. But in the beginning, if you want to tongue both so you can just feel the difference, that's fine. After you do the F, you can go up to the G. A. And then B flat. You should be seeing half notes that are below me. You can hold it out longer, do a slow tempo, just get the note out, feel the note, feel what you need to do with your embouchure, with the airspeed and everything we just talked about and I showed. Take your time with it. Once you're good from starting up high and dropping down low, then start low and go up high, which is what a lot of music does. They do those jumps, and that is where a lot of students have issues. Okay, so start with the F, it's fine. G. Then A. B flat. Give it a try, take your time. I would recommend going on other professional flutists. Okay, this is a student model flute. And if you want to hear some better flutes, then go ahead and search on YouTube, share with me. All right, that would be great. Right on. Hello, my clarinet friends. And for anyone that is watching this video in its entirety, welcome flutists. If you're just still watching the video, my clarinet is probably flat. And we're not talking about tuning here specifically in this lesson, but it's flat because it's cold. And if the instrument's cold, this is made out of wood, then it's going to be flat. The only thing I can do is warm it up from the outside. First, I'm blowing warm air like you go to a window and then you blow into, to get that fog, right? Well, now why am I blowing on the outside and not the inside yet? Because you want to get the temperature from the wood on the outside warm first and then inside. It's kind of like a crack in the road. If you have any kind of crack in the inside and you start blowing warm air, but then it's cold on the outside, it can start to crack. And usually cracks happen right here, and no good, no good. So I'm going to back up so you can see. I'm going to kind of stand up at times like this so you can see my fingers, okay? After we blow on the outside, sorry, let me finish this extra tip, yeah? After you blow on the outside, you're going to finger down the low E. That's what you're going to learn today, by the way. You're going to finger down low E. If you know the lowest note, then awesome. Blow through the instrument, but don't make any sound. Just make your embouchure loose and blow the warm air all the way through the instrument. Now your warm air is circulating through the whole instrument while you already blew warm air on the outside. Now this video is being made in Texas. I've moved over, if you haven't known, from Taiwan. So those climates in Taiwan, tropical island, here in Texas is usually pretty warm. So we don't have to worry about the clarinet being too cold too often. But I'm originally from Connecticut, so yeah, it can kind of get cold. So, okay, now this section here for the clarinet, very super important. It is going to the first range of the instrument to the second range of the instrument smoothly as possible, and that is called going over the break. So if you have your first range being the chalumeau register, oh, I went into the next range, sorry, it goes up to a B flat. Then it goes into the clarion register after that. And then it starts going into the altissimo. And then the extreme altissimo. and then you can keep going up. All right. So for this video here, though, we're going over the first break. Basically, the break happens between B flat and B natural. B flat being the 1 and back key, the A key, and then the register key. It's not a pretty note, but there's ways to make it prettier. And then the B. So the challenge is for many clarinetists is that if you see here, you basically have your airstream is going down and it starts to escape right here from the top, right? So you're playing and then it starts to come out right here. So if you just measure basically your fingers from your thumb all the way up to the top, that's not a lot of distance. And then suddenly, when you go into the next range, all your fingers are down. Basically, the air comes out of the bell. So now you're coming from here, and then suddenly the whole instrument has to be filled with air. That's the challenge. And so you get a lot of these sounds that, you know, are not desirable, or students misplace their fingers, and then you get sounds like this. Stuff, and then you're getting squeaks and really super high notes. That's what a squeak is. You're having most squeaks. There's super high notes, and then it's like, what's going on? So this is what we're going to do. First, start with the first note that you learned, which is C. 3 fingers down and the back key, right? The back thumb key. Then what we're going to do is start using our right hand. I'm going to show the notes down here. You should be seeing the notes at this time down here, so I'll edit that in. And the first note is going to be B flat, and that is with your index finger of your right hand. Now that's not in your scale that we've been playing in class, or your first scale that you should probably be learning, concert B flat, or in our case, C major. You've been playing the middle one. All right? Just for now, we're trying to place your fingers correctly. So C, and then A is going to be 2 fingers down. And then G, my favorite note, is going to be 3 fingers down. Be careful here. You want to be covering the pads with the soft part of your finger, not the bone part like a piano player that hammers down. And I'm not going to go into the details of playing piano right now, okay, because it's honestly limited. My wife will let me know that. Haha, if she sees the video, she'll laugh. So, yes. So what we want to do is cover the hole with the soft part of the finger. And down here, this is the biggest open hole that you can cover. This is the biggest open hole. So lots of problems happen here with students not covering the hole. You want to make sure you cover. Well, what about these, Mr. O? Can those? Yeah, those are these are bigger holes here, but these keys push the pad down, so you don't have to worry about that. Your pinky will do the work, and we'll talk about that in a second. So go ahead and play the G. So again, C. Now, the pinky here, we're going to do the right pinky first. You have 2 that are high, like we'll say second floor, and then down here is first floor. Let's do this. First floor and basement. Basement is below, because right now these fingers are on the first floor. First floor, and then down here is a basement level. We're going to be hanging out on the first floor, and it's the 1 key here closest to the ground. That's what I like you to play. You're going to curl your finger a little bit, and now your pinky can be like a piano player, and you can just hammer that down in the center. That's an F. That's called an F. Okay. Now, the right pinky, you have one close to the clarinet, one hugging that far away to the clarinet, and another one that is kind of like wants to talk to the other upper joint and wants to talk to this one way up here. Because if you pull the clarinet apart, you have these two that kind of want to talk to each other, if you see it. Hey, what's up? All right, yeah. So we're not talking about those two talking to each other. The one that we want is the closest one to the clarinet, the biggest one here. Is that the biggest one? Well, they're about the same size, so this one close. That is the low E. That's the lowest note of the clarinet. Now, there are different ways to play this. There's different ways to play this. Okay, so that's a different exercise in the future. Going between those pinkies and having a conversation there and doing exercises and blah, 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 all that. So let's not worry about that. So let's get over the break. Now your fingers should be positioned. We're about almost 10 minutes into the video. I knew this was going to be detailed because I'm a clarinetist. All right, I'm the most comfortable with this instrument. And so go ahead and... Now what we want to do is push down this key here in the back, but you still want to keep your thumb on the you want to still keep your thumb angled and press down. You want to cover the thumb hole. You still got to cover the thumb hole. And it should sound like this. Now your tongue inside your mouth has to be high. This has to be flat and still say firm. If you're not firm, it'll sound like this. Sounds very spread and flat, right? It's not good. So focus the sound, tongue high in the mouth. Then once you're okay with that one, which is the low E to the B, then go to the low F to the C. And you should be seeing the music here now. Low F to C. It's that little motion. That's it. That's it, just a little bit there. Make sure your thumb doesn't come up too high because then the air comes out. Then once you're good there, go to the G. Then go to the A to the E. And then B flat to F. And then your first note to G. The biggest important thing here when you're playing that upper range is to keep your embouchure, your chin nice and flat here, point down here, corners are firm and in. Okay, that's how we jump into the clarion register. Now, what we want to do is go over the break. So go ahead, you're going to now see G. We're going to play G. I'll play that exercise one more time, a little bit fast, so you can do the whole thing. Okay, so it's low E. Now go up to the G. Okay, so now we have G, A, you should be seeing G, A, B, and C. That is the 5th note, 6th note, 7th note, and 8th note of your scale. Here's that going over the break. Your fingers have to set down. And then lift up your pinky for the C. Again, here's the G, A, B, and C. Okay, now I'm going to introduce shading notes. It gets very complicated and it changes between the different clarinets that are available for you to play. So in general, we're going to call this introducing putting your right hand down. For the notes I just played, before you go over the break, which is the bridge, right, between A to B, you can put your right hand down and already pre-set up your fingers before you go over the bridge. Now you can only do this for certain notes, like G and A for now. If you go low, it will sound weird. So let me show you. This is G, and then I put my fingers down. 1, 2, 3, here. That's it. That's my right hand down, preset right hand. 1, 2, 3, here. See if you can hear. I'm going to go back and forth. You hear it? So it should sound better when I put my hand down because it'll sound more round and darker in tone. Now it lowers the pitch, it lowers the tuning slightly, which actually helps for this note. Now if I do A, you can do the same thing. Now look, I'm ready to just put down 1, 2, 3 from the A up here. 1, 2, 3, and then the back. As opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the back. Yeah? So now look, from here, from the A to the B. From the A and then B. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you do have to put this down. So this pinky too has to put down. That's a big challenge, I know. What else can I say about that? Practice, you can go practice going down too, reverse it. If that works, that's fine. Then once you're okay with that, which is going to take some time, once you're okay with that, then go ahead and just lift up this pinky, and then you are okay with going to C. Now, if you're like, I don't want to try putting my right hand down there, that's not a big deal. I'll just go from here and then put all my fingers down. Well, let me try to go back and forth, and show you how easy it is if I get into that habit of putting my right hand down. Right hand down. Now, for some of you, that might be like, nah, it's not a big difference. It feels different. I feel more comfortable doing with the right hand down. And I practiced it both ways because, well, you're going to have to know both ways eventually. But for now, put your right hand down. All right. Hopefully that helps. My God, that was about 18 minutes. All right. And good luck, clarinet players. All right. Trumpet players, hello. So we've just now, for many of you, skipped over the flute and the clarinet, which was pretty long for the clarinet. Good luck to them. I'm sure they'll be fine as well as the flutists. But now we got the trumpet. So for our trumpet, and the section we're going to do now is going between the different notes that are fingered the same way, right? So a lot of times we push down the note and then we're like, okay, let's play an E, right? Our third note that we know, valve 1 and 2. Let me wet my lips. I was just playing a lot of the clarinet for like 18 minutes, all right? So I've got switch families there, excuse me. All right, so we got our E. We want to play E, but then sometimes a higher note might pop out. Or a lower note might pop out. So generally, we should know already that you want a space between your teeth. Your lips should be firm and hugging your teeth. And you shouldn't be too much of a smile position. And that's just a quick review on the outside. All right. Now on the inside, what happens is generally when you want to play higher, if you want to play higher notes overall, your tongue has to be higher in your mouth. Now, there's a video that shows a horn player inside one of the MRI, like X-ray devices that scans your body if you get into a big accident or you just need to get a health checkup. So what this player did is they went into the MRI while playing the horn and showed the inside of their mouth, and then you can see the notes that they're playing. So what I'm going to do right now is cut away to that video briefly so that all brass players right now can be able to check this out. I'm going to refer the trombone players to check this too, and the low brass players. The next part is trombone. So I'm going to refer other players to check this out and then kind of skip around and go back to the practice sections that they need to do, right? Because we're doing trumpet now. So go ahead and check out this part of inside the person's mouth and see how the tongue changes inside the mouth. It's pretty wild. And we'll be back in a sec. Okay, you're back, and that's pretty wild, right? So what we're going to do now is do an exercise where we can practice going between these different notes, and then so you can start to be more comfortable. I like to suggest getting the higher note out first and then dropping lower as opposed to starting lower and then getting tighter and pushing more air and getting to, because what can happen is that you overcompensate and you just overjump, right? So what we're going to do is start with the note that I played before, which was the E, right? And then we're going to drop down low to the A. So the corners drop slightly. I loosen and stay a little bit more relaxed. and listen to that again. You should be seeing the music here. Once that's okay, you can go up to the F. Again, the F. And then switch into the F sharp, which is valve 2. Again, the F sharp. Now I'm not tonguing the note again, I'm actually just sliding into it. You can tongue lightly if you would like to before slurring. We really haven't talked about slurring right off the bat in the beginner classes, but if there are more advanced players that would like to just jump right into the slurs, that's what we're doing. It's called lip slurs, right? So next one is G. G to C. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go and start low, and then we're going to try to play not just from low to the second note. We're going to try to still push more air. The tongue's going to keep going higher, and we're going to try to play 3 notes. Now, for some of our advanced players, you can still go to 4 notes. You can try to push it to 4 notes. The music that you're going to see, though, will only be for 3 notes for now. So we're going to start on the low A. You should be seeing the A, E, and then A again. Now, advanced players know that, well, can we come back down after that? Sure, you can add that in and come back down after. So we'll play it again, and then I'm just going to reverse the music. I didn't show that down here. So I'm going to go up and then come back down as an extra step. The next one you should see is B flat. Remember, high tongue for those higher notes, firm lips. I like to push out slightly my jaw, not too much. I don't push out. I don't want to be like this. Okay, that's just weird. So don't do that. But then slightly flat and push out. And then think about the air being a slide because your tongue is high. Let's do now the B. B, F sharp, B. And then we can try the C, right? The jumps to C. C, G, and then C. Did you hear right there? I kind of popped up to the middle range. So you can keep going just to experiment and try to play the higher notes too. Well, I need more air. There you go, okay? so I'm going to now shift to trombone so they can practice. I'm going to recommend that the trombone players or low brass players do see this part because it's good review, but I am going to jump into the trombone section now. All right, right on. All right, trombone players, we are ending this segment with you. You should have just watched the trumpet segment with the horn player in the MRI showing the tongue placement that I edited in to that video. But now this one is showing some of the basic exercises that you guys can do. All right, so what we're going to do is mainly focus on slide position 1, 2, and 3 only for today. All right, you can do more, and I challenge you to do more, but we're going to just do those. So what we got going on here, like the previous video, we want to start from the mid-range and drop down low. So let's get your fourth note. So get up to your E flat, which is position 3, and then I want you to get that note. Remember space, a little bit bigger space than the trumpet with your teeth, and then hold that note steady and then loosen up and drop down to the A flat it is. So it's E flat to the A flat. You should be seeing that here. Okay, let's try that a little bit more formally, right? I'm sliding right into it, which is called a slur. And this time I'll try to change my muscles faster with, okay? Try to change and relax it faster so it's not, it'll be a little bit more smoother. You can lightly tongue because a lot of music has you tongue, so you can also experiment with that. Once you're okay there, we're going to shift up to the position 2. So position 2 is going to be E natural and then go down to A natural. And then go up to your 5th note that you should know comfortably, the F, and then drop down to the B flat. Now I started from 3 to 1, and I started high and dropped down. You can do the reverse. Okay, that's another variation. So now the music you should see is similar to what the trumpets did. We're going to start down nice and low, and then we're going to go ahead and try to play 3 notes now. You can do more than that, but the 3 notes that we're going to start with will be the A flat up to the E flat, then not back to the A flat, but then to the high A flat. All right. So make sure that tongue, just like the MRI video, is going up. Okay, now the tone here, I'm going to be very honest, being a woodwind player, and while I'm comfortable teaching the brass instruments, there will be better professionals that perform on the trombone regularly. So I encourage you to seek out a better tone for that. All right, that's just, I'm not by any means embarrassed to say that. All right, I didn't grow up playing these instruments. I learned all of them, but I'm being very just straightforward and honest to you as an educator. We're giving the tools to be able to open the door, and then you guys go ahead and share some videos with me, and you know, whatever you find, I'm open to. I'm open for that. All right. So, all right, right on. Here we go. So, We did position 3. Let's do position 3 again. The music, I'll leave the music down there. Let's start now with position 2. Starts on the low A natural. Position 1 starts on B flat. Good luck, and let me know how it goes. Right on.